And we make the children pay. Tonight the water kill us slowly. But now we'll be the ones who slay. Think of your lives and your children. Young families wonder where you've been. They're growing old and yet you're still here. Do what I say and you'll see them again. Yes, sir! Diamonds lead the charge. Like a bend on the point the cards. Span on legs, the way on me through the gates of single host stay at large. I was attacked with the fake taxes, they back master. Father killed the brothers of Hector. Yes, sir! Straight now, use that well of pride. You know everything now. You up inside. What you fight for? What you fight for?
Likely putting the second team in between 1987 and 1989. What gets interesting about this timeline is that it seems like the general public doesn't know anything about the Great North Alaskan disaster until around 1990, when the documentary made by Arcadia Entertainment and our own government is broadcast. Ian Parker could have very well been one of the first test subjects that Atom Labs had run their experiments on. This is demonstrated in the next point in our timeline, 1992, with the farm. It's here that Ian, through Atom Labs' new advancement in technology, encounters an entity within the video game, The Farm. In between this segment and the video monsters, and also Everything is Fine, I'm assuming that the events of paid programming take place, which brings us to our most recent period in the timeline, and probably one of the most important points of this timeline. In 1993 and 1994, we've learned that the exclusion zone is essentially a thing of the past. There is no more barricade. The corruption is spread out from Canada and the lower United States, and to be fair, God knows where else. This is demonstrated in the episode Monsters, where we find out that there's something new in regards to this substance, not only found in the John Doe, but also Ethan Marshall, as well as possibly Ian Parker. The final events of this timeline take place in 1994. Government support is waning at a rapid pace. Desperate for answers, seeking every available resource possible from the Anomalous Awareness Association, and even NASA is involved. We've learned that the worst possible outcome has finally happened. But what if the worst is yet to come?
I am drawing and singing and watching it. I'm drawing, singing, and watching your videos in the
You
background.
have zero idea of what's around you, what predators could be lurking in the shadows. That's the premise of the Dark Forest theory. The Dark Forest theory in and of itself plays on the question, are we alone in the universe? The answer is more grim than you could possibly imagine. We aren't
Don't
alone,
make me do this. Don't make me
but
do
everybody
this.
else is trying to stay quiet. There are predators lurking in the dark. There are predators lurking
Wait a minute.
in the abyss. This whole series cuts its teeth on the Dark Forest theory. The idea that we were the only ones foolish enough to send out the signal. A lonely world surrounded by nothing but hungry, vengeful eyes. Something out there is moving from world to world, destroying everything in its sight. The abyss, it has conscious thought, but it's omnipotent, ever-growing, infinite, perpetual, just like the signal that summoned into our world. It spreads throughout the cosmos, corrupting worlds that fall into the cycle that was mentioned by this entity. This entity, I believe, is either an alternate John Walker from a parallel world, or it's our John Walker that now has been corrupted by the abyss. Something tells me that all these worlds, at one point or another, were exactly like ours, but as the cycle moved from one world to another, each one sent out their own individual signal, damning the world to eternal darkness and mutation. Each of the beings that we see in these videos share some
Trying for
rudimentary
his
traits, something
life.
we've heard of from our
Thought
world,
I
be it
would
mythological
the world to
beings,
see my
gods,
son
you
and
name it.
wife.
The Abyss has corrupted and tainted these worlds and transformed these beings, once normal to you and I, into something more than alien. We were one of the last worlds to fall in line, but where I get the idea that the Abyss might be sentient is, well, I don't think one's intentions were all too pure. I think the Rogue One was used as bait by the Abyss, and I think we've got it wrong about the other world. The world that reached out to us for a moment. It might not have any malicious intentions. It might have been cruel. It might have been trying to stop us from doing the unthinkable. Again, that's just a theory. Most theories usually stem from World 1 was trying to harm us, and it was World 2 that was in fact the one that was malicious and had malicious intentions. At some point or another, this world will be consumed by the Abyss, and will just be another part in the cycle. Another important part of this cycle is, well, I believe, John Walker's intentions in and of themselves. John Walker had lost his family. Remember, the original concept of what Atom Labs was trying to do that we know of so far was that they were just trying to communicate between worlds. And although it was reported that a bridge was going to be created in between the years of First Contact up until the Great North Alaskan disaster, it could be the fact that John wanted to be reunited with a family, not his family, but a family similar to his. Part of the difficulty in coming up with these theories seems to be
That's
the
completely
cyclical
fair.
nature of the series itself, which
I like
does
to watch content like
make things a
that,
little difficult. That's not a knock
but
against
not
the
that
series, by
bad.
the way.
Not. I like to watch game theory actually, but
Plays is going to be important
it
as the
depends on
series goes forward.
it.
In regards to the importance of the shots of the moon, which is critical to this theory, is that while Ground Zero may be considered the first known stable fissure, I believe that this light behind the moon is the other stable fissure that I mentioned. And from this stable fissure is where our new god, the Abyss, originates from, seeping into our reality, consuming our universe until it's just like the other ones. Perhaps we might find some solace in Arcadia that we might not be the last, and maybe we could luckily be the universe that decides to finally break the cycle. Maybe this is a part of Ian Parker's role in this series. Perhaps he is the one that is designated to break the cycle. On the other hand, the research that has been invested in by the AAA seems to come to the conclusion that the Abyss infects those that have transferred between fissures, those that have crossed the void in and of themselves. The cycle that they mentioned could pertain to the fact that we're being replaced, cycled out. Maybe these universes are endings,
There's some old episodes
and they will not stop until
older
their
than 3
hunger
years.
is sated. What I found really interesting about this series, and perhaps more frightening than interesting, was that there could be some weight in this theory. As you watch this video, ask yourself, why is it we haven't been answered? Why is it that we continue to
What's
ask the question,
ahead
are we
till
alone in the universe?
sunrise, and
Is
we
it
don't
true? Are we
return.
truly the
Then
only
600 men can make this
species
whole
out
place
there?
burn.
Or
Full speed
are we just a helpless prey, awaiting for our own
ahead.
signal to be cast out into the void, and am I a door that was never, ever meant to be opened? Hey friends, so all in all, this was probably one of the more difficult stories and videos I've done so far. Just a brief update with a lot of things. I apologize for how long it took to get this video out. I've kind of been dealing with some stuff here at the home front, and it's been really difficult to kind of balance school and work and my kids and everything. I hope you guys did enjoy this, and I hope you guys
Oh my god.
to videos. I might, for the next couple videos, stray a little bit away from analog work. Probably take some time to write some other stuff, anything from internet mysteries to
The times of war and bloodshed is how we're supposed to live. We're sort and upset. We would take what we could give. You control a person that you trust them. You up and lower your guard. Choice for soul adjustment. Well, hi, it's not that hard, I'm telling you. Life is amazing when you read it with open arms. From the heart, a place to light up the world. Here's how to start. The world with open arms, with the world with open arms. Stay back.
With Chewy, get their mealtime match delivered fast,
Damn.
like Sparky on Turkey Tuesday. Meanwhile, Bella prefers style over speed.
Friends are waiting just to show our faces.
Low prices, but like
Like a
the
morning
is Chewy.
I kind of wish she were too, but with all the stories she said, I don't read it. Life is amazing when you get with open arms. Every place that is like you in the heart.
As we descend, the horrors will grow increasingly disturbing and unsettling.
That I agree. Get the way the fruit is glowing, it's filled with growing seeds.
Gemini Home Entertainment is one of the most iconic analog horror series on the web. Minecraft. What can be said about one of the most played games in history that hasn't already been said? An infinite world where blocks are the canvas, and the only limitation is our imagination. Minecraft is more than just a video game. It's a cultural phenomenon. However, within the vast tranquility of its pixelated landscapes and melodies, there's also room for something darker. Minecraft has become the perfect medium for many to unleash their own tales of horror, creating worlds that are not only unsettling, but for some reason feel alive. Artemek Dacha is a Russian channel dedicated to Minecraft, with only a handful of videos uploaded, yet several of them caught my attention because, unlike the rest, they seem to tell a rather bizarre story. This Minecraft ARG also incorporates elements of analog horror, so I hope you enjoy it. Before we dive in, I'd like to thank all of you for the amazing support on the previous video and everyone who responded to the pinned comments question. Remember, if you want to be featured in the next video, make sure to reply to the pinned comment, which includes the following question. What other Minecraft ARG would you like me to make a video about?
Changing from how I
Without further
designed
ado, don't
you.
forget to leave your precious like and subscribe to help the channel grow and reach
What's
more
in
people.
purpose?
Every like is
Let
one
me
more point
remind
listed.
you.
If you're unsure what to comment, just type
It's
DM
the
in the comment section and I'll send you a heart in return. Comments are incredibly important and help the video
Life has one
so
mission.
don't forget to leave yours.
Keep the
Welcome to the
greatest
disturbing experiment of Minecraft's villagers.
knowledge, test of skill, magic war only the best could kill.
The first video
Boy
begins with the
came
player
for
greeting
the
the audience.
thrill.
If we translate
Boy
what he's
whose
saying,
mind
it's
rival
clear
the
that this
boar's
is some
own
testing scenes in Minecraft
win.
version
You
1.15.2.
one day will follow me and we'll make a greater tomorrow.
To begin gathering resources.
No, we'll
Out of
finish the
nowhere,
work.
if you watch the video in full screen, a message appears on the side of the screen. Speedrun mistakes, accompanied by
Yo, sluts! DraftKings Casino Web's got you here. We call it the pop.
Oh, that's
Players
fun.
play $5 and get 500 total spins on Hopping or Bluff. Plus, get a fun.
Speedrun mistakes, accompanied by a counter that increases as the video progresses. While exploring, the player spots smoke from a campfire in the distance, which signals the presence of a village. He comments that he will head there to find the blacksmith's house, as it usually contains useful items. However, this village is far from ordinary.
When you lie to me, what's your name? Close to maybe I'll do the
They
same.
are taller than usual,
Yeah,
appear
thank
to
God that nothing happened.
have expressions of suffering.
To be honest, you a goddess. To be honest, you are Athena.
Unlike
Senorina,
the
Damn queen of strategies we've seen.
completely deformed cat. What's most
Time
striking is that
spent.
the player acts as though everything is
Man, best friend.
when he attempts to enter the blacksmith's house. One of these peculiar villagers blocks the way. The player mentions that he can't get inside, and the video ends. By carefully analyzing the title and description, we can gather the
Mine. Be one day I'll reach them. They can build their skills as we teach them. Problem will have the answer.
At first
You're
glance,
the
it seems the player
warriors
is
of
attempting a
the
split. That's likely
night.
straight from the village.
Remember to make
As
sure
blacksmith
you don't
houses
fall
typically
behind.
have valuable
Get the warrior, a very special kind of a warrior
However,
of
he
the
stumbled upon this bizarre village filled with strange and
night.
unsettling villagers, which ultimately derailed his plans. The big question remains, what happened in that place to mutate the villagers into such grotesque forms? In the second video, we see a blue screen as a world is generated in Minecraft version 1.15.2. Right at the start, a text appears on screen that reads, "Simulation level, minimum." The player greets the audience and explains that he is in Sector 69 to investigate, as he was informed that the assimilation levels have dropped. In the background, we hear villagers and distorted
The
game
entire
sounds.
fleet
At this point, it becomes clear that numerous villages are being listed and assigned.
to
The
be
player mentions that night fell while he was working. On
was the
screen, new
lotus
text
eaters
appears.
passed up on all
Assimilation
this
level
food.
DEF+. The player checks if the villagers are asleep and enters a house where we see the strange villagers, who, according to the player, appear to be asleep. The recording cuts and the text changes again. Assimilation level DEF++. The player says he will connect these entities to a system to generate energy for an experiment. He also mentioned hiding all the evidence so the experiment can continue. All this is so unsettling. The on-screen text changes once more. Assimilation level EXT. The player approaches the village well and enters a hidden room where villagers are confined. He explains that it was challenging to lure the villagers to this location, where we see two of them connected to what looks like a screen. The player then opens a chest, revealing more villagers inside, and comments on using redstone to power the mechanism. The video cuts again, and when it resumes, an ultrasound image appears on the screen, accompanied by the text at the bottom. Get outside. The player mentions that the connected villagers are trying to communicate. Suddenly, something truly disturbing appears. A sonogram image of a baby with 3 eyes, accompanied by the text,
That's good.
"He's trying to get out." The player ends the video by stating that the villagers' fetuses have managed to communicate. All of this is incredibly strange. If we translate the title and the description, it reads, "Where do villagers disappear to in Minecraft? How can you make villager babies talk in Minecraft?" I received a message saying that the village in Minecraft was experiencing a low level of assimilation. I came to check it out, but I never expected to see this. Based on what we've seen so far, it seems these villagers are assimilated villagers being used in an experiment to make their fetuses talk. Artimac appears to be directly involved in this experiment, yet the ultimate purpose behind all of this remains a profound mystery.
Hello.
My name is nobody, nobody, nobody.
For your gift of one to rely. I'm so glad you see eye to eye.
In the next video, we see two villagers in a house
Oh,
where the
look.
following message appears
Each
on
time you
screen.
tell them not to look at the above text, they gotta
I've been
look.
here for 4 days already. Do you think you can rid of us? Dad promised to pick us up. Where are you? The scene then cuts to a recording of someone walking through what seems to be a basement. Suddenly, they come across something on the floor that we can't see because it's censored. A message follows. It's been edited. I have to show everyone what he did. Everyone needs to know why he made them stay indoors. Later, we witness a conversation between two villagers, father and his son, Victor, referred to as the victim. Dad.
Yeah.
Trapped in the basement. What? Help me. There's someone in the room. There's someone in the room. There's someone in the room. Dad. I'm trapped in the basement. Help me. Victor was assimilated.
It is wild.
Victim left, hid in the cellar room. He waited a minute, tried to escape. Was found by Victor. What exactly did we just watch? This video delves deeper into the concept of the assimilated and reveals a grim story of the father and his son, Victor. Both end up assimilated. Someone mentions there's one victim left, and another responds that they hid in the cellar room. They waited for a minute before attempting to escape, only to be found by Victor.
Lies up
What
there.
follows is a recording of this encounter.
Oh.
The person recording hides while we hear the footsteps of that thing approaching. The atmosphere grows darker and more aggressive until the screen fades completely to black, marking the end of the video.
Thank you.
This video is the shortest of them all. It shows a player exploring a pitch-dark cave, cautiously moving forward. However, they suddenly stop upon encountering one of the assimilated villagers. The player seems startled, steps back, and the video abruptly ends. The description reads, "My bad, that's not a villager." As mentioned, this is a very short video. Interestingly, this Minecraft session appears to be unrelated to everything we've seen so far, suggesting that whatever is happening here may have spread to other worlds.
Yes. I would.
In the next video, we see an
Can
world
you
selection
keep
screen. It shows a few worlds. One with a strange title, likely the result of mashing random keys, something many of us have done.
The grandpa would have already been in the grave. I don't
Another
know.
named Real Victor is here, and a final one called Test 37. The player selects the first world, which loads into a skyblock map. Here, we see an assimilated villager standing alongside two regular villagers. A sign
I'll be
next to the
honest.
assimilated villager, when translated from German, reads father,
Um,
while the sign near the normal villagers reads
I-
farm.
I,
Next, the player enters
I
the
don't
house
want
with
to
no
see
floor
her.
and falls into the void below.
but I think it is in the best interest of like y'all
The camera then
to
pans
not
back
like
to the
trauma dump
villagers,
in the
including
chat
a small one that also walks into
because
the house and falls
other
to his
people
death.
will see this, and I don't know if you want a lot of people to know about your
The
traumas.
description states,
I'm gonna encourage just like stop trauma dumping.
each video
I'm gonna
becomes
encourage
stranger
it.
than the last. Let's dive a bit deeper to see if we can shed some light on this bizarre
I'm gonna
story.
encourage you guys to like stop trauma dumping because like
Finally, we return to Artemis, picking up exactly
So
where his
some-
last appearance left off. As we saw previously,
More rewards, more savings, more special offers. That's what new Fuel Rewards members get at Shell. Join to save 10 cents per gallon on your first fill, 20 cents per gallon on the second, and 30 cents per gallon on the third. Join today.
as we saw previously, he comments on how astonishing it is that the fetuses of the assimilated villagers can communicate. The footage abruptly cuts, and once again, the text assimilation level DEF++ appears. The player reaches a wall, and we see in the chat that a generic entity has disconnected. He dark-skinned entity appears. The player, terrified, attempts to hide. He peeks out, and the entity seems to have disappeared.
Damn!
But moments later,
Don't
it
interact with people on the
reemerges,
internet if you're 10.
lying on the floor with a pulsating piece of flesh embedded in its torso. The player flees and manages to trap the entity. We then see him escaping from the area through the
How
village
long
main.
ago was this?
However,
This time it
if
was
we
like-
translate the title, we discover that this village is different from the previous one.
Like, how?
System
How do
69
you do
to
that?
42, Village Connection. How to abandon an inferior child in Minecraft. Consequences. After reaching the village in Sector 42, the player remarks that he will verify the number
So
of
you're
inhabitants.
11.
Upon arriving, he observes that there appears to be no one. We hear him walking, his breathing slightly agitated, likely still scared. Suddenly, an assimilated villager appears, and a text on the screen indicates that the assimilation level
Okay.
is 0. The player comments that the assimilated villagers have realized he is responsible for what happened to them. Deciding to return to Sector 69, he descends into the well again, passing the room where the dark entity was trapped. However, the doors open, and the player assumes the entity has escaped.
Can
Despite
we,
this, he continues to the experiment rooms to retrieve a sample and escape. As he enters the experiment room,
okay,
goes up.
yeah,
Several
gross.
assimilated villagers
I know there are some people who come to my streams
appear. On the screen,
to, like,
assimilated
relax
villager says,
and stuff.
"The fruit is here. Why?"
I would
The player watches
encourage
the
you
board as
guys
the
to,
captive
like,
villagers begin to
stop
change,
trauma dumping.
turning reddish as if preparing to attack. Suddenly, a minecart appears, and after several cuts, we see the following.
I'm going to assume if he was up there. I'm gonna encourage you guys, like, stop trauma dumping.
Victor, now fully assimilated, is trying to capture the player. Despite this, the player manages to board the minecart and seemingly escape. The video ends and the description reads, "I survived after the exit from Village 69 was blocked by real metal barricades. I discovered that the tunnels beneath the village lead to neighboring villages, but it takes a lot of effort to move further. So, I decided to return. It's not my fault that Victor suffered from the entity in his house, which appeared during a version transition. In fact, the village shouldn't even exist because the version is too old. But that didn't stop Victor from suffering. Victor blames me, so I don't want to see him. This video is deeply unsettling and reveals several key points. First, we now know that the villages are interconnected through underground tunnels where experiments are conducted. A new type of assimilation is introduced in the form of the dark-skinned entity, which suddenly appeared during a version transition. This entity was responsible for Victor's assimilation. It becomes clear that the assimilated villagers are aware the player is to blame for their plight, and they are now seeking to capture and kill him. Finally, Victor appears, harboring a desire for revenge against the player, as he seemingly suffered the most. From the title, we can infer that Victor may have had a disability, which led to his abandonment. Finally, we reach the last video. Here we see the same floating island from earlier. However, an eerie sound plays in the background. Deep, agonized wails, as if from someone in excruciating pain. The camera pans to reveal two villagers who are not yet fully assimilated, though their textures look odd. Perhaps they are mid-assimilation. These two are none other than Victor and Artemek. And then this happens. To betray. You were born here and you were glad. The video ends here, and when we look at the description, it reads, "Hello world, I'm a default Minecraft villager, and I live with my mom.
I'm gonna on mute or something, please. Please stop trying to make people come in here. Gross. Am I muted? I'm not muted.
Taking all of this into account, it becomes evident that Artemek failed to escape from Victor and was ultimately assimilated. What we witness in this video is his painful and agonizing transformation.
So gross, but
A
like,
process that strips away his humanity and reshapes him into a new father for Victor. A crucial detail that solidifies this interpretation is the description of this final video. Previously, the descriptions contained relevant information added by Artemek himself. Now, however, the description reflects the perspective of a newly assimilated villager. This harrowing conclusion demonstrates the full extent of Victor's vengeance and the horrifying implications of the assimilation process. Artemek is no longer himself. He is now just another victim of this twisted, tragic cycle. Artemek paid for everything he did. This series seems to have come to an end, but there are still many unanswered questions. What is the true purpose behind this experiment? Why is there such an interest in the communication between the assimilated fetuses? And what is the real origin of that strange black entity? The floor is yours. Share your theories in the comments. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to support this one by liking it and sharing it with as many people as possible. Also, don't forget to follow me on my other social media platforms, where I post exclusive short content that you won't find on YouTube. And remember, you can now become a channel member. Just click the join button next to the subscribe button to enjoy tons of perks and exclusive emojis while supporting me. If you're interested, join in. I'll be eternally grateful. Oh, and keep in mind, this video was made by a cat, and cats can't talk. Thanks for watching, take care, and see you soon.
fair, but like, can we like? Alright, I'm about to. Can we go like? Because you guys are annoying me. Because I've been asking for money. Is the homing God? Looking for a hand. You're the God of guard and lose your life of this God in the strife. Don't forget how dangerous the gods are. Die on it, and people die on it. Oh, I believe in goodness. I believe that we could be kind to the heart and see what thoughts that we do when it tears us apart. Oh my God, that's so loud. My friend. Who's gonna see another life end? Like your brother, I could never hear it out. You doubt that I could figure this out. You guys want to switch? I mean, they said that thing that happened when they were 10 happened last year, so they are 11. They might have went to bed because it's like 12 a.m. I don't know what time zone it is for them, but it's like 12 a.m. for me. And I'm assuming if they're like a couple hours behind me,
One of the most popular
they are supposed to technically be in bed.
an almost infinite world where you can get lost and let your imagination run wild. But what if I told you Minecraft can become something much darker and disturbing? This blocky universe has been the perfect playground for countless creative minds, but not always with the goal of building something amazing. Some have used it to bring unsettling horror stories to life. From bizarre experiments and players losing total control of their world, to full-blown horror mini-movies that could send shivers down your spine. Now you're probably wondering why I made this video. As I mentioned in the community post, I've been pretty busy this week working on my analysis of the non-canon episodes of The Walton Files, and making progress on a secret project that I'll be revealing very soon. Something I'm sure many of you here are gonna love it. Still, I didn't want to leave you without content all week, so I decided to put together this video, compiling all the Minecraft ARGs I've covered on the channel so far. I know a lot of you love this kind of format, so I really hope you enjoy it. With that said, I want to take a moment to thank everyone who responded to the pinned comment in the last video, and for the incredible support you always give me. Remember, if you'd like to be featured in the next video, make sure to reply to the pinned comment where you'll find this question. Which other Minecraft ARG would you like me to cover on the channel? This time, don't go for the super popular ones. I've already got those on my radar and even started working on some of them. So hit me with something unexpected.
The fire enough to stay burning.
Subscribe to help the channel grow and reach more. Every like is one more coin to escape poverty. And if you're not sure what to comment, just type me out in the comment section.
Do I
Leave a
have?
reward in return. Comments are incredibly important and help the video.
There it is.
So don't forget to leave yours.
That's wicked.
Welcome to Something Is Wrong with These Three Minecraft ARGs.
And always justifies the mean. Can we please? Okay, this might sound rude. Can we please switch to like another
To
topic?
translate what he is saying, it's clear that this is someone testing seeds in
Because
Minecraft
I am.
1.15.2.
I would rather the chat not be filled with like things revolving around like inappropriate stuff, because you guys are like kids. It is my job as an adult to like kind of put a stop to that. Stop to like inappropriate conversations. So I am gonna ask if you guys to like move to a different topic. Because like, I honestly really don't want that being told.
It usually contains useful items. However, this village is far from ordinary.
I'm gonna ask like, can you guys please move on to like a different topic that isn't inappropriate?
Here, we see some very strange villagers.
This
They're taller than usual, appear
I'm
to
confused with enemy
have expressions
golden,
of suffering.
but
The player continues exploring, comes across a small villager. Unlike the others, seems normal, as if that weren't odd enough. They also find a completely deformed cat. What's most striking is that the player acts as though everything is normal. When he attempts to enter the blacksmith's house, one of these peculiar villagers blocks the way. The player mentions that he can't get inside, and the video ends. By carefully analyzing the title and description, we can gather the following. Top 1 Unsuccessful Minecraft Speedrun. This speedrun was the most disastrous in my Minecraft career. I decided to post its record so that others would not repeat my mistakes. At first glance, it seems the player was attempting a speedrun. That's likely why he headed straight for the village, as blacksmith houses typically have valuable loot like iron, obsidian. However, he stumbled upon this bizarre village filled with strange and unsettling villagers, which ultimately derailed his plans. The big question remains, what happened in that place to mutate the villagers into such grotesque forms? In the second video, we see a blue screen as Moon is generated in Minecraft version 1.15.2.
I don't know, like,
Text appears on
how
screen that
long,
reads,
like, how, what's, like,
simulation level.
the thing is,
The player
like,
greets the audience and explains that he is in Sector 16.
y'all's chats,
as he was
and, like, when I
simulation
speak,
levels have dropped. In the background, we hear villagers and distorted game sounds.
I don't know,
It becomes clear that numerous villages are being listed on the side.
I don't know how long the window is.
On screen, we have text.
Hello.
The simulation level DEF+. The player checks if the villagers are asleep and enters a house where we see the strange villagers.
I don't know how long it, like, takes you guys to, like, hear what I'm saying
The recording
and, like,
cuts,
type your
text
chat.
changes again. The simulation level DEF+.
Like, I've been, like, begging for, like, a good while to just, like, not talk about inappropriate topics because I'm an adult and I know you're supposed to stop to shit like that.
All of this is so unsettling. The on-screen text changes once more. The simulation level EXT. The player approaches the village well and enters a hidden room where the villagers are confined.
The fuck is that?
He explains that it was challenging to lure the villagers to this location. We see two of them connected to
What is that? I feel like a boomer. What the fuck is
player then
that?
opens a chest, revealing more villagers inside. And comments on using
I'm
resting
googling
as
that.
non-menus. The video cuts again, and when it resumes, an ultrasound image appears on the screen, accompanied by the text at the bottom. Get outside. The player mentions that the connected villagers are trying to communicate. Suddenly, something truly disturbing appears. A sonogram image of a baby with 3 eyes, accompanied by the text. He's trying to get out. The player ends the video by
Googling
stating
this.
that the villagers' fetuses have managed to communicate. All of this is incredibly strange. If we translate the title and the description, it reads,
What? What's so
"Where do
inappropriate
villagers
about it?
disappear to in Minecraft? How can
What's
you
so
make
inappropriate about
villager
this?
babies talk in Minecraft?" I received a message saying that the village in Minecraft was experiencing a low level of assimilation. I came to check it out, but I never expected to see this. Based on what we've seen so far, it seems these villagers are assimilated villagers being used in an experiment to make their fetuses talk. Artemek appears to be directly involved in this experiment, yet the ultimate purpose behind all of this remains a profound mystery.
I'm listening to a video. I have a video playing as I'm listening to Epic the Musical. Hello.
The message appears on screen.
I have a video playing.
4 days already. Do you think you get rid of us? Dad promised
I'm
to
watching a
do
video about ARG things because I really like it.
cuts to a recording of someone walking.
I don't recommend if you're like a child to be like go into the horror side of YouTube
I
because
can't see because it's censored.
it's great, but
The message follows. It's been edited. I have to show you.
it's not a Minecraft documentary. It is an ARG thing.
Later, witness it.
It's an ARG thing. It's like Minecraft ARGs. And I don't suggest you getting into that stuff. Like, go to like find alternate reality games that are based around Minecraft, because sometimes alternate reality games can get really inappropriate, and children aren't meant to get involved with them.
Conversation between two villagers.
Something's wrong with hot lattes.
This Victor, referred to as the victim. I'm trapped in the basement.
Do I want to draw you, or do I want to draw a human version of you? I am going to do her hair. I'm just trying to figure out if I want to draw this character as a human, or this character. I'm trying to figure out if I should draw this character, or this one.
Victor was assimilated.
And that looks like a leaf on her head.
Victim left. Yet
This?
he waited a minute, tried to escape. Was found
I'm
by
trying to figure out
what example we just watched.
which one I should
This video
draw.
delves deeper into the concept of the assimilated and reveals a grim story where the father and his son, Victor, both of them assimilated.
Do I want to draw you? Or do I want to draw you?
The response that they did was
Do I want to draw an OC? These both are my OCs. So I just gotta choose out of my OCs which one I really want to fucking draw. Please get some sleep. Do I want to draw a human version of this one? Or do I want to draw this character again?
Really just back so soon. Where's the rest of
Okay,
the crew?
I'm just gonna.
What happened to you?
One or two? One or two. If you want me to draw a human version of one, put one in chat. If you want me to draw two, just put two in chat.
the person recording the footsteps of that thing approaching. The atmosphere grows darker, more oppressive until the screen fades completely to black, marking the end of the minute.
Put one or two in chat. I need like everyone who wants types in chat to put one or two.
This video is
Seats. Bring you all something to eat. Your snacks on your feet. I've got you. Alright, put one or two in chat. I'm trying to figure out which character to draw. I would be drawing the one. I'll be drawing human version of. Two. One. Okay, it's a tie between one or two. Oh no, it's fine if you make it a tie. Because I'm gonna draw a human version of one, or I'm gonna do two. Like you can just choose whichever one you want. If you choose one, it's just gonna be a tie, and then I have to wait for someone else to say something. I really don't care. You can pick two, you can pick one. I don't care. I'm gonna have to really choose between. I'm gonna give it like 5 minutes. Two? Okay. So it's 2 for 2. 0 for 1. Alright, since who's winning, I'm just gonna go to 2.
As we saw previously, e-commerce, how astonishing it is that the fetuses of the assimilated villagers can communicate. The footage of replic cuts, and once again the text
Nice.
assimilation level DEF++ appears. The player reaches we see in the chat that a generic entity has disconnected. He enters the room, seemingly searching for something. Suddenly, the scream is heard. A dark-skinned entity appears. The player, terrified, attempts to hide. He peeks out, and the entity seems to have disappeared. But moments later, he emerges, crawling on the floor, pulsating a piece of flesh threaded in his torso. The player flees and manages to track the entity. We then see him escaping from the area to the village building. However, when we translate the title, we discover that this village is different from the previous one. System 69 to 42, village connection. Going to abandon an inferior child and moved to the consequences. After reaching the village in Sector 42, the player remarks that he verified a number of inhabitants. Upon arriving, he observes that there appears to be no
I mean, if you, I mean, I'm sorry, but you gotta go to school.
likely still scared. Suddenly,
I will not ever encourage people to not go to school.
the text on the screen indicates that the assimilation level is 0. The player comments that the assimilated villagers are realized he is responsible. Deciding to return to Sector 69, he descends into the well, passing a room where the
Those
dark
powers dreams were on.
However, the doors
And
open.
they're just a
The player assumes the enemy
being
is
your creation.
Despite
Be it his
this, he continues to make
imagination.
experimental moves to
Only
retrieve
for
the
a
sample from
moment.
the skin.
You beaten your
As he enters the
opponent.
experiment room, an alarm goes off. Several assimilated villagers appear. The player seems visibly terrified.
Power which
On the screen,
What
the
are
assimilated
words?
village says,
shines
"Defeat
for
him."
hours.
The player watches it.
Oh, I've been out of school for too long. I don't know when school starts. I graduated like last year. Oh, I graduated last year. I'm chill.
Defeat is here. The player watches it as the captive villagers begin to change, turning reddish as if preparing to attack. Suddenly, Minecart appears. And after several cuts, we see the following. Victor, now fully assimilated, is trying to capture the player. Despite this, the player manages to board the minecart.
Finally, sorry that I asked this, because I've been misinformed. I have some scouts to take a look around out here. Not about your door.
Discovered that the tunnels within the village lead to neighboring villages, but it takes a lot of effort to move further. So, I decided to return. It's not my fault that Victor suffered from the entity in his house, which appeared during a version transition. In fact, the village shouldn't even exist because the version is too old. But that didn't stop Victor from suffering. Victor blames me, so I don't want to see him. This video is deeply unsettling and reveals several key points. First, we now know that the villages are connected to undergo tunnels where experiments are conducted. A new type of assimilation is introduced,
The usual thing about placing it
which suddenly
on
appeared during the
me.
version
You
transition.
say the flower, one that gives you powers. You're a coward now and flee. Just be a liar, more just can't acquire. With a dire consequence. A God like you, because I got this root from the ground with my spare hands.
As he seemingly suffered from
You and I are now evenly matched. They're twined, they're attached. Of people to protect, and I can't neglect. Now there's no turning back. You made a wrong move, now you're done for. Move that you're done for. And the spell saves you, cause you're done for. You'll run more, soon you will be done for.
deep, agonized wails, as if from someone in excruciating pain. The camera pans to reveal two villagers who are not yet fully assimilated.
Oh,
Their
cause
textures look odd. Perhaps
I
they are
did
mid-assimilation.
it,
These two
the
are
heavy
none other than
loss.
Victor and Artemis. And then this happens.
With no trust. Plus.
Assimilation completed. Victor will never be abandoned. A new father will not be able to betray. You were born here and you were glad.
You said 10, you said 11 year
Video
old?
ends here.
I suspect an 11 year old?
Description reads, "Hello world, I'm a
15?
default Minecraft villager, and I live with my kid, Victor." Taking all of this into account, it becomes evident that Artemek failed to escape from Victor and was ultimately assimilated. What we witness in this video is his painful and agonizing transformation, a process that
Power,
strips away
so
his
much
humanity,
power.
reshapes
There's
the
so
ultimate
much
new father, Victor. A crucial
here.
detail that solidifies this interpretation
information is the description of this final video. Previously, the descriptions contained relevant information added by Artemek himself. Now, however, the description reflects the perspective of an isolated villager. This harrowing conclusion demonstrates the full extent of Victor's vengeance and the horrifying implications of the
And
assimilation
you would like to
process.
hear, you'd like to
Artemek is no
join,
longer himself.
look
He
into
is
the
now
commentary
just another
community, because
victim
there's
of
always
his
drama
twisted,
there.
tragic cycle.
Slipping to the
Artemek
ACC.
paid for everything he did.
There's currently a big shit of drama going on there. I've traveled long years since I have seen my wife. The God of tides, got to end my life. Oh, I beg you, Cersei, grant us mercy. Let us puppets
The victim of this twisted, tragic cycle. Artemek paid for everything he did.
a way to get home.
This series seems to have come
Another
to an
way,
end, but
very
there are still
dangerous.
many unanswered
It
questions.
might be your one
What is the true
final
purpose behind this
hope.
Why is there
A
such
brilliant
interest in the
prophet.
communication between the assimilated
Or
fetuses?
is the prophet
What
is
is the real
dead?
origin of that strange black
I
entity?
could get you home, but I can get you to the under. But instead, get you to the under.
In
Yeah.
the first video, everything seems normal.
You guys?
A player named Clayton M634 uploads a video showcasing his base. During the tour, we see various areas such as a mini roller coaster, an animal pen, a storage room, his bedroom. As I mentioned at the beginning, there's nothing unusual in this video.
Actions of
However, the next scene
passion.
happens that truly
I
raises
know
questions.
you done once
Clayton claims to have found a
before.
massive cave and heads
Only
toward
one day
it.
when
Its
it's
structure resembles
the
modern
puppets here no
However, the top left corner of the
more.
screen,
They
it
want
shows
to take the road. Your puppets here. So much power, so much power. There's no puppet here. But there's a
The
puppet
description
here.
mentions that Samuel is Clayton's friend, and that they both play on the same server, though not always at the same time. In his video, Samuel explores the world in search of the perfect spot to build his base. Eventually, he comes across a massive cave similar to the one near Clayton's house, and, without much thought, decides to settle there. In the next video, Samuel shows us his progress. However, as he
Who
descends
we
into the
find.
he encounters something he never
Oh,
expected
spirit.
to find.
Thank you. We find the prophets.
And I'm going to show it to you. Here we go.
I hear our screams. When I had to close my eyes, no longer dream. Nightmares of those who died. It's what it seemed. It's what it seems. In the underworld, the past is close behind. When confusions your mind.
Marks in the distance. It tries to get closer. and
Earth
screams out.
might become a monster. 558 men who died under your command. Captain, 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 why would you let the Cyclops live when ruthlessness is mercy? Your screams. Every time I dare close my eyes, no longer dream. Nightmares of those who died. But it seems nothing was it seems. In the underworld, the past is close behind. The infant from that night, keeping of the infant from that night. Life is amazing when you greet it with open arms. Whenever we face the decline, if we aim from the heart, no matter place, we light up the world. Here's how to start with the open arms, the world with open arms.
Upon arrival, we see Samuel's face, but there's nothing inside.
Thank you, by the way.
Clayton decides to however, something stops him. Overcome with terror, Clayton is confronted by a strange entity.
Jesus, when you come home, you're
This isn't the same
waiting.
entity that Samuel saw.
Live your lives, that's the
Takes refuge inside Samuel's face,
I
hoping to
took too long. I'll stay in your arms, and you were
Following it leads to a video where, surprisingly, nothing unusual
I hear more screams every time I dare to close my eyes. No longer dream. Only nightmares of those who died. Is what it seems. Is what it seems. The underworld, the past is what's close behind. The past is always close behind. Sound in the underworld.
Another article is that Samuel was supposed to be waiting for him. Is nowhere to be found. Then again, maybe he got bored of waiting and left the server. In the next video, we see Clayton playing a new version of Minecraft that is clearly unofficial. Minecraft ran at 1.6 during the session. He grabs however,
Any past and future running free. There is a world where I help you get home. But that's not a world I know.
this is due to the unusual
I see a song of past romance. I see a sacrifice of man. I see tales of betrayal and the brother's final stand. I see you on the brink of death. I see you throw your final breath. I see a man who gets to make it home alive. It's no longer as can be. They suffered and sailed through the toughest of hells. Now you tell us our hours for nothing. I see your promise covered in red. The faces of men who have long believed you're dead. I see your wife with a man who is haunting. Man with a trail of bodies. I see a song of past romance. I see a sacrifice of man. I see portrayals of betrayal and a brother's final stand. I see you on the brink of death. I see you draw your final breath. I see a man who gets to make it home alive. It's no longer
page appears to be exclusive to developers, as there is no option to register. Which usually lists all versions of the server. If you never get to the current version that Clayton himself
Ooh, that took a lot of air. I'm gonna not sing for a bit.
whose functionality can be
It
observed.
took a lot of my air.
What follows is a 4-minute long video in which absolutely nothing happens. It simply shows the pole on a rainy night while a strange song plays in the background. The next video is recorded from the perspective of
How am I to reunite
which
with
stands for
my
Quality Assurance. QA introduces himself as part of the support team for this version. In the server, alongside Samuel, QA mentions that he has yet to fix a reported bug. Samuel leads him to the hole, which has grown significantly larger from this point. QA looks confused and remarks that it seems like something has been taken wrong. He has no idea how to fix it, but says he will discuss it with his team. At this point, two unsettling questions arise. First, why didn't Samuel mention anything about the entities he encountered? And second, why does the support team again connect directly to the player's world to inspect the error firsthand? Something definitely doesn't feel right. Next, we see Clayton and Samuel playing in a new version. Through their conversation, we learn that the whole issue has been resolved, which is also confirmed on the website.
That's just written. When a guy goes down, makes a big ground, instead that he's doing something wrong. Or does he be must just so read must respect him and have no difference from law. Just a sword to use up with an horse to kill sleeping from the story is vital. Or does he throw away his one more and save more lives with God?
Still testing the high-speed levels. The obvious question arises. What fortunes?
Hello. Monster, everyone but us. Nature, we've got home again. There and just I became a monster. Ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves. Oh, I know this well. I lost my best friend. I lost my mentor, my mom. I just went on. It can't go on. I can get to see Penelope. Till I'm a curse. So if you say thank you. When I impact on the wall, if we all don't die, then I'll become the monster. I will deal the blow and become the monster. They are known. When I find the monster, looking deep below, become the monster. We make it home. Monster. Love yours. This is mercy upon ourselves. Become the monster.
I joined after they got offline, and the hole was patched up. Want to know the cause of the bug? Well, of course. It's because of a bug in small parts of it. We're not small parts. It's trying to happen so many times or something. That's what it's to. But how do those weird zombie things cause them? I think the bug. Let's analyze what we just saw. This new video, QA has a conversation with Smart Team, who appears to be one of the main developers. During their discussion, it is revealed that the holes appear in the player's rooms are caused by bugs in the code written by Smile. Additionally, Smile 2 mentions that strange things appear because Smile 1 attempted to add new types of zombies or something new zombies. This means that these new zombies are responsible for the appearance of the holes. And by zombies, they are referring to the mysterious entities that Clayton and Samuel previously encountered. In the next video, we see that the hole has disappeared. Clayton must have felt some relief at that moment, though it wouldn't last long.
But only if you answer a question or two. Okay, so let's say I was on the road, or hiding from that. Besides, and let's say you could walk away over giant waves and giant storms. How about you?
Clayton hears a terrifying sound behind him, and as he turns around, he sees a one-eyed creature charging toward him. This is the same entity he had previously seen when inspecting Samuel's base. Fortunately, he manages to take cover in time. After a while, he decides to step outside to check if everything is in order. However, suddenly there is an explosion near the hole. Clayton quickly rushes down and, at the bottom, he sees that the special block that had been placed to stop the hole's expansion is now on the ground. When he picks it up, he realizes that he can no longer place it back. It's clear that this is the work of the entities. We're back to square one. The bug has returned.
Get you the house.
Here, we have a conversation between Smile 2 and Smile 4, where they discuss the bugs reported by testers, such as the texture change in the planks of Clayton's house, along with other unresolved issues. We also learned that Clayton and Samuel are not the only testers. Finally, two texts appear, which, when combined, read, "Problems don't solve themselves, but ours do." This phrase is quite intriguing, but it's still too early to theorize about its meaning. You'll have to wait a little longer. In another video, Clayton and Samuel discuss the whole issue again. Even after the support team's intervention, the situation has not improved. Later, the two friends step outside and see just how massive the hole has become. They attempt to cover it up, but soon, something unexpected happens. It seems there is no hope. It is now evident that this is no longer just a simple bug. After all, even the developers themselves don't understand what's happening in their own game. Over time, this strange anomaly reaches Clayton and Samuel's house and begins consuming it. Then we see the perspective of Samuel, who, along with Clayton, starts rebuilding their base. But in the process, they come across something even stranger, a hidden place beneath the house. Inside, they found a massive room made of smile blocks, resembling some kind of meeting room. At this point, it's not far-fetched to think that the development team is behind all of this. Remember, only the developers have access to this special block. And do you remember who created it? Exactly. The mastermind behind it all is most likely Smile 1.
Thank you.
After everything that happened, they managed to rebuild the base, and it even looks better than before. We also see that the game has been updated to a new version. Sometime later, Smile 2 joins the server and talks to Clayton about the situation. Smile 2 claims he has come to fix all the previous errors, and they even discuss the mysterious hidden place that appeared after the destruction of their old home. During the conversation, Clayton's camera starts shaking slightly as he looks at Smile 2. I think it's more than obvious now. In the end, Smile 2 asks him to leave the server so he can fix the supposed. Clayton decides to log out of the server and joins another one, where we meet Jude, another tester who plays alone in his world. Seeing this, Clayton invites him to play on his server so he doesn't have to play alone. Later, Jude gives Clayton a tour of his base, and Clayton informs him that he'll have to wait a bit longer before returning to his server since Smile is still fixing a bug. In the next video, Clayton finally returns to his server along with Jude. However, they discover that the small hole from before has become massive. It's clear that there's nothing left to do there, so the friends have no choice but to move to a safer location. Some time has passed since the last video, as we can see that the game has received a couple of updates. Here we are introduced to the new base of Clayton, Samuel, and Jude. At some point, Clayton asks about a long tunnel that appeared in the storage area. Jude replies that he built it while they were offline, but he doesn't really know why he did it. After this statement, an awkward silence falls between the three players. This definitely raises some suspicions about Jude. Could he be involved in all of this? Later, Clayton mentions that he misses their second base and suggests visiting it someday. However, the torches start disappearing again. And not just the torches, all the lighting is gone. At one point, we see Jude enter the server, yet he never actually appears anywhere. Because of this, Clayton and Samuel begin to grow suspicious of him. At the end of the video, Samuel spots something in the distance and heads toward the forest, only to be killed by something. He rushes back to retrieve his items, but his inventory seems to have been replaced with different objects. Too many errors and strange occurrences have happened at this point, and they realize that reporting them to the SMILE team is no longer a good idea. Things only seem to get worse when they do. In the end, they decide to visit their old base to see what state it's in.
At Vistaprint, we print all the signs that help your small business stand out. We print tabletops that get your brand seen up close, and retractable banners that stop everyone in their tracks. We print A-frames that bring in business, posters that show them what you're all about, and vinyl banners that let everyone know you've arrived. No matter what you need, we print all the signs that you can put here, so you stand out, even when they're way back here. Because at Vistaprint, if you need it, we print it. Print everything for your business at Vistaprint.com.
Oh yeah. Do that early.
The place is completely barren. No trees, no grass. Everything is desolate. The base has disappeared entirely, and in its place lies a massive hole, so deep that its bottom is not even visible. Clayton and Samuel build a small shelter to take refuge in, and afterward, Samuel descends to the bottom of the hole. There, he finds a chest containing a SMILE block. When he hovers his mouse over the item, disturbing background noises can be heard. He stores it in his inventory and returns to Clayton. Next, there are two related videos recorded from different perspectives. In the first, we follow Samuel again. The temporary shelter they had built is being replaced by random blocks, some even vanishing altogether. It seems the creator is converting blocks into others before making them disappear. This could mean that the blocks Samuel found at the bottom of the hole are the last remnants of their former base. At one point, Samuel descends once more, and when he looks up, he can make out the silhouette of that strange, one-eyed entity. The second video, however, is recorded from the perspective of this very entity. Curiously, this one is titled Surveillance. Once there, Samuel places the SMILE block, and everything changes. In the following video, we remain in Samuel's perspective. Everything around him appears to have been restored, and the SMILE block is now secured under a gray plank structure. Shortly after, Clayton joins the server, visibly angry about what happened. What the fuck? What happened? Did you do this?
Okay, yes, I did this, and it was an accident, and I'm serial.
What the hell did you do? Did this happen to the entire world?
I don't know, listen, I'm serial. You betrayed me. We spent so much time working on that world, and now it's fucking gone.
After this, Samuel is never seen again. Clayton then attempts to break the SMILE block. At that moment, SMILE 4 joins the server and asks what happened to their world. As they talk, a figure with a glowing white radar can be seen lurking in the darkness. The entity watches Clayton and, within seconds, attacks him. This is the very same being that Samuel saw at the start of the story. Clayton manages to shake it off and then explains to SMILE 4 what happened. SMILE 4 is shocked by this turn of events because they believe Smile 1 had taken care of these things long ago. Smile 4 tells Clayton that everything happened because Samuel placed the block at the exact coordinates needed to activate an unfinished function. Originally, this spot was supposed to open a portal to a new dimension, but since the code was incomplete, the entire world was reset. At some point during their conversation, Clayton asks about Samuel's whereabouts, but Smile 4 says they don't know, though they'll try to find out what happened to him. Finally, we arrive at the final video. Here we see a lonely Clayton who has built a small house around the Smile block, and that is all we know.
It's true, the sun god.
It's been over a year since the last video was published, which suggests this might be the end of the story, though the conclusion feels somewhat unresolved. Ultimately, Clayton loses everything. His friends, his bases, and, in general, his entire world is completely destroyed. What's the explanation behind these events? I'm convinced that Smile 1 is the cause of everything. Throughout the story, we never see him directly, but QA, Smile 2, and Smile 4 constantly mention him, claiming that he was trying to fix errors. However, the game's glitches and anomalies don't seem to have happened by accident. Plus, it appears there are more people involved beyond Smile 1, as suggested by the strange reading board hidden beneath Clayton and Samuel's house. This hints at the involvement of multiple individuals or entities, possibly pointing to a larger conspiracy. On the other hand, if we analyze the behavior of some staff members, like QA or Smile 4, it becomes clear that even they don't fully understand what's happening. However, Smile 2, who seems to be second in command, raises some suspicions. I believe his involvement becomes evident in that scene where the camera slightly shakes. Then there's the Smile board, an object created by Smile 1 himself, which appears to control Samuel's mind at the end. When he hovers his mouse over the block, a strange sound starts playing. What if the block is actually communicating with him? And finally, we have the mysterious phrase, "Problems don't solve themselves, but ours do." This raises an even bigger question. What's the real reason behind Smile 1 and his team's actions? For now, here's my theory. The game world seems designed to self-destruct, populated by entities that chase
Bye.
players.
Have
This
fun.
way, Smile 1's team doesn't have to intervene.
I'll always be here if you
Their problems
want.
solve themselves. And what's the problem? The players.
I'll be probably be
Let
here
the world and its entities take care of
for a
them without
while.
the team having to lift a finger.
I'm not
However,
to
this leads to
confess.
even more questions. Why are the
In
players
the
involved
end,
in the first place?
all the same
Does it have
as
something
I
to do with
apply
players
all
Samuel's
the
intentional
pressure,
future?
thunder
I don't think so.
bringer,
It's strong enough
through
motive,
the
especially since this
ringer.
situation doesn't really affect
Like
Clayton
a
and
judgment
Samuel.
call,
Other testers
one
were
who
involved
makes
too.
her kingdom fall.
Also, one great solution to the game
Wielder,
entities were buying beyond just harassing players.
wielder,
And there are
we
still
can't
more unanswered mysteries.
control true nature, we
Where does it
will.
land with this?
I
This
would
behavior was
insist,
extremely strange.
I would make you
What really happened to
choose
Samuel?
lives of your
Why is Smile 4 able to investigate this case? Couldn't he have just logged out of the server and fine? Alright, I think it's time. This whole thing feels like a puzzle with missing pieces. And it's
the
like
damned
that
for
to
the
complete it.
gruesome
What do you guys
fell
think?
thunder.
Let me know your thoughts.
Bring
Curious in the comments.
to bring your ears unto death with fear. Near you will
Surely,
death is
almost
near.
everyone has heard about Herobrine at some point. Without a doubt, one of the most famous creepypastas in the world of video games. The story began on forums a decade ago when players claimed to see a figure resembling Steve, but with completely white eyes. It was said that this entity built impossible structures, dug tunnels in strange patterns, and watched from a distance, disappearing if you tried to get closer. But what many don't know is that before Herobrine, there were already rumors of an even more mysterious figure, White Eyes. On July 30th, 2010, a a YouTube user named Kerchak uploaded a video titled Minecraft Music 13 OGG. The video simply showcased the eerie atmosphere of Minecraft's Disc 13, but if you paid close attention to the lower left corner of the cave, you could spot a pair of white eyes staring directly at you. The following day, in the Minecraft forum, a user named Endorphin started a thread claiming to be terrified after seeing a pair of white pixels, apparently the same ones from the YouTube video. This led to speculation that Endorphin and Kerchak might actually be the same person. In the thread, a user named Blaster suggested the eyes were nothing more than a rendering glitch, but Endorphin disagreed, insisting it was White Eyes, a female entity. Later in the discussion, another user named Flaky created Phantom of White Eyes, describing her as a skeletal, spider-like creature. However, these illustrations are now
I'm done with the line art. I'm probably gonna dip. Maybe, I don't know.
around 2 weeks after the appearance of
I want to color a little bit.
the now iconic Herobrine creepypasta emerged, clearly inspired by this earlier legend. Herobrine's popularity exploded to such an extent that White Eyes was soon forgotten. However, in recent years, this dark tale has resurfaced, slowly gaining recognition once again. But why am I telling you all this? Him is a stunningly crafted Minecraft horror short film based on these two legends. Here, we'll witness a deeply unsettling story in which a villager settlement meets a terrifying fate. As soon as the story begins, we're presented with the following text. Generations before the rise of the demigod, when the land had yet known of Almighty Steve, a cold taiga observed the presence of a bodiless deity, an unearthly force, walking between the shadows of a quiet village and hunting villager blood. This passage suggests that Steve is seen as a divine figure within this universe, which isn't surprising considering that Steve, the player, is the...
Why'd you get all these chalices? It's not like it's a stamp collection. We can actually use
is the only being who may not die.
Look with your stories. Know who you are.
However,
I won't deal if you're dead or just too far. Nobody tell me.
reinforces this idea. As her name, Herobrine is also known simply as him. After this introduction, the story begins by putting us in the shoes of a blacksmith villager who, after finishing his daily routine, heads home to rest. But just before opening his door, he notices something that immediately unsettles him. A body lying on the ground, stained with blood, right in the middle of the village. Concerned, he tries to communicate with the figure, asking if they're alright. But before he can get a response, the body suddenly begins to levitate in a disturbing, erratic manner and moves toward him. Even in a fantasy world like Minecraft, this entire situation is completely abnormal. Terror takes hold of our protagonist, and he starts running as fast as he can toward the priest's church. Once there, he explains what he saw. A woman with a strange mark on her face. However, the priest looks outside. There's nothing there, just an empty village. The blacksmith can't believe it. It was right there, so much so that he takes another look outside, only to witness a terrifying scene. The levitating body is now back on the ground, but suddenly it's dragged away by an invisible force. The priest mentions that a cartographer's apprentice once had a similar mark on her face, but she disappeared over 5 years ago. Even so, he tries to calm the situation, suggesting that it was probably just wolf hunting, a common thing in the area, and emphasizing that the night is far too dark and he hasn't seen anything at all outside his house. Not finding the help he hoped for, the blacksmith has no choice but to return outside. He tries to find a rational explanation for everything that's happened. Maybe it was all just a bad dream. But when he spots a blood-stained tooth lying on the ground, it confirms that everything he saw is very real. The next morning, determined to find answers and guided by what the priest told him, the blacksmith visits the cartographer's house and recounts everything that happened the night before. The cartographer immediately associates the description of the body with his former apprentice, Masha, a girl who had a birthmark over her left eye, and who, as we already know, died 5 years ago. Intrigued, the blacksmith asks how she died. The answer he receives is perhaps not what he expected. Masha had ventured into an unexplored part of the forest and never returned. The cartographer admits he never understood why she was so insistent on going to that particular area when they still had other maps to complete. However, he reveals that before her disappearance, Masha had become obsessed with the idea that something inhabited those woods. She was convinced that an ancient primordial force lay dormant within them. The cartographer also mentions an intriguing detail. At the edge of the village, there's a pile of cobblestones next to the water, supposedly meant for a construction project. But years have passed, and no one has touched them. In fact, no one even remembers how they got there. Something here definitely doesn't add up. Before parting ways, the cartographer gives the blacksmith Masha's journal, suggesting he take a look at it since he was never able to understand its contents. Upon receiving the journal, something immediately catches his attention. On the cover, there's a note with just 2 words written, him and Herobrine. If there was ever a time for the phrase, curiosity killed the cat, this would be it, right? When night falls, the blacksmith examines the notebook. Inside, he finds sketches of maps and local trails. But what really catches his eye is actually a passage that clearly describes a very entity Masha encountered. And right next to it, a drawing of the infamous altar thought to be used for summoning Herobrine in Minecraft. The text reads, "He is the shadows. There it says, he is everywhere like sickness. And there is no cure but to wake up. He leaves alone." This suggests that Herobrine may possess a certain degree of omnipresence in this universe, or at least when he's been summoned and set free. As for that second to last line, well, we'll understand its meaning soon enough. On the last page, the blacksmith finds a drawing of the being in question, a black, human-shaped silhouette with stark, glowing white eyes. As he stares at the image, a noise suddenly breaks the silence. Something has been watching and following him since then. Something has been watching and following him since that night. Summoning his courage and taking his sword in hand, he decides to investigate, completely unaware of what awaits him.
He won't choose a man to the throne, will bring blood and tears.
Now why you came to my head?
I had a friend before then, he was a lot like you. I helped him fight the war, but he had his feelings too, and then
We grew apart. His life went dark. And so I didn't make. I had a different call. Maybe I had wasted all my oh my god. If I had a reach to go, I can sleep at night.
Athena, I don't know who your friend is. I don't know what he's like, though. My time with you's been splendid. The best day of my life. 'Cause I got in the fight and I didn't die. Never felt strong before. You're my friend, I couldn't ask for more. And so I think maybe life wasn't just planned. I don't think you mind. It's friend than mine. Maybe so far.
We were one way, baby.
Turn out great. I know we'll be fine.
Suspicious timing, wouldn't you say? The blacksmith insists that he can't ignore what he saw that night. Still, the priest once again tries to convince him that his mind was just playing tricks on him, suggesting that what he saw was likely a visitor from the ether, a heavenly, ethereal realm filled with unique creatures and resources, the direct counterpart of the nether. Despite the priest's words, the blacksmith refuses to back down. He knows what he saw. And though the priest keeps dismissing his claims, urging him to clear his mind and rest, something doesn't feel right. As the priest turns to leave, the blacksmith notices something. A strange symbol on the back of his robe. The very same symbol he saw in Masha's notebook. It seems that Herobrine has already left his mark on the priest, confirming his direct involvement in everything that's happening. The next day, armed and determined, the blacksmith confronts the priest. He demands to know who is placing the cobblestones in the village, convinced that the priest is hiding something. This time, he refuses to leave without the truth, but the priest tries to paint him as a madman. Consumed by rage, the blacksmith storms out and heads straight for the cobblestones. In a fury, he begins to tear them apart. The priest tries to stop him, but receives a brutal blow to the face, knocking him to the ground. With the cobblestones removed, his hidden secret is finally revealed. The altar to summon Herobrine. Yet it remains dormant, which explains why his spectral form, used to invade the minds of his victims, has yet to cross into the physical realm. Analyzing all this, it becomes evident that the priest was merely trying to protect the village, likely concealing the altar with cobblestones to prevent anyone under Herobrine's influence from completing the ritual. But it's too late. Herobrine's presence has grown beyond control. There is no turning back. He is already here, in the walls, in the earth, inside the villagers, everywhere. In that instant, the priest lunges at the blacksmith, hands tightening around his throat. He raves about freeing him from the curse, and suddenly, the earlier words take on a chilling meaning.
Albion Online is a sandbox MMORPG in which you write your own story instead of following a vast open world. Everything you do has an impact on Albion's player-driven economy. Every piece of equipment is crafted by players from resources gathered by players.
Yeah, this would be so funny.
Switching from knight to magician is
Siblings could have this.
armor and weapons, army of combinations.
Siblings could have skin tones.
Venture deep inside dungeons on your own or with a group of companions. Explore
But arms are teammates.
treasures and resources.
Hello.
Beware of
This is going to be interesting. I'm Canadian.
grow crops and raise animals.
I'm going to make
Let's take
3 of
on
my
the
OCs
meaning.
siblings.
Liberation.
One's villain,
awakening.
one's a villain, 2
It
are
was
the
never
guys.
salvation. It was death. Desperate, the blacksmith grasps a nearby stone and, with all his strength, strikes the priest. The man, now completely unhinged, has become too dangerous to ignore. With no other choice, the blacksmith takes his life. But
Thank you.
fate is cruel. Fully, a dark figure rises from the flames. Its form towering and menacing. Its appearance is a clear reference to the Phantom White Eyes. All hope seems lost. Yet Herobrine doesn't immediately attack the blacksmith. Instead, it becomes clear that he wants to save him for last. Perhaps to see him suffer, or perhaps for something far worse. The village descends into chaos. The creature moves through the streets unstoppable, claiming the lives of several villagers. There is no escape. Desperate, the blacksmith runs to harm himself, grabbing his best sword and enchanting it with a spellbook. There's no choice left but to fight.
What do you say? All right.
was in the wrong. And do them worse. All I did was reimburse them. Well, first, live another day and sing another verse. Worst is not given its fortune. Give him my support. Sacrifices on cohorts. They failed to listen. And they're imprisoned. Diaries. Odysseus claims to love his mother. Died an open heart. If anyone's curious what's going on in the background, I will be a thing. I'm turning it down.
Hey, baby. Never once did he cheat on his wife. I played your game and won. Release him.
You dare to defy me, to make me feel shame. No one beats me. No one wins my game.
Actually, wait, I could have just done this. Oh, I'm such a dumbass.
You should do.
I'm such a dumbass, I could have just done this.
Blacksmith is ready to deliver the final blow. But just as he's about to strike, he notices the only creatures left in the room. It's then that the horrifying truth becomes clear. The being standing before him is none other than a flesh woman. The cartographers of Atlantis vanished 5 years ago. Her body has likely been corrupted and used as a vessel for Hero to manifest in the physical world. Despite the heartbreak, Blacksmith knows there's no other way. With a heavy heart, he drives the sword into the creature's head, ending the abomination once and for all. The victory is far from theirs. The blacksmith isn't the hero of this story, just another victim. And perhaps now his own body will serve as the next vessel. There is no salvation. Herobrine has been set free. Manifestation of darkness, chaos, a parasitic force that infiltrates the minds and bodies of anyone who crosses its path. And with that, the story comes to an end.
Hello.
Don't forget to support this video as much as possible and share it with as many people as possible.
Sorry, my love's too much for you.
I love reading them. Also, make sure to follow
I'm
me
not
on
sorry for loving
where
you.
I post exclusive short form content you won't see here on YouTube. And most importantly, huge shout out to all the channel members. Seriously, thank you all so much for your support.
And being tired and restless inside.
The join button.
Moments I swore that we had.
Tons of perks, exclusive
You
emotions,
trying to embrace me, everyone.
if you're interested,
Realize it.
eternally grateful.
Hello. I have not seen you in a while. Omnimark, I think I've seen you on our streams before.
Take care and see you soon. Surely, almost everyone has heard about Herobrine at some point. Without a doubt, one of the most famous creepypastas in the world of video games. The story began on forums over a decade ago when players claimed to see a figure resembling Steve, but with completely white eyes. It was said that this entity built impossible structures, dug tunnels in strange patterns, and watched from a distance.
Well, thank you for subscribing, but I don't draw my subscribers.
Many don't know
Maybe I'll do that as a series one day,
already rumors of an even
but
more
I-
mysterious figure, White Eyes.
but I'm not going to, like, I don't draw my subscribers, I'm sorry.
The YouTube user
Maybe I'll do that as a series one day.
uploaded a video titled
Hello,
Minecraft
old
Music
friend.
13GG.
Talk to
The video
Calypso.
simply showcased the eerie atmosphere of Minecraft's Disc 13,
We're given a final option.
to the local network.
One last chance to make it back home in abandoned culture. No way like the blood your hands have known. I know it's with fate. No, I know your hands should stay. So why you wait to say it?
Might actually be the same
It's
person.
a bit dangerous, my friend. It's a change for this. I'm not kidding, I would say for this. Get home, put it all on the line. Ready, remember that you can little name for this.
However, these illustrations are now considered lost media.
Alright, I'm in. What do I
Around
do?
2 weeks after the appearance of White Eyes, the now iconic Herobrine creepypasta emerged, clearly inspired by this early legend. Popularity exploded to such an extent that White Eyes was soon forgotten. However, this dark tale has resurfaced
the smile
once again.
through the what you must do. I will keep moving. Jesus, I'm not gonna wear things for this. I'll put it all on the line.
Many of you had asked me to bring Minecraft content back to the channel. So, while I'm working on a video about one of the most requested attractions,
Wanna get home, put it all on the line.
I'd like to thank everyone who responded to the pinned comment in the last video, and for all the support you always give me. Remember, if you want to be featured in the next video, just reply to the pinned comment where you'll find the following question.
Why do I get closer? It's just two, all three of these guys are specific. Yeah. Dangerous, my friend. I'm not good. On the line. just for this. And all the foolishness. To get home, but all along the line.
Every life is one more point to escape poverty. And if you're not sure what to comment, just type
Friend, I'm not the one who fought for you.
comments are super important and help the video a lot. So don't forget to leave yours. Welcome to As soon as the story begins, we're presented with the following text. Generations before the wars of the Republic, when the land had yet known of Almighty Steve, the cruel taiga observed the presence of a bodiless deity, an unearthly force, walking between the shadows of a royal village, a hunting village. This passage suggests that Steve is seen as a part of this force, which isn't surprising considering that Steve, the player, is the However, before his arrival, there was a dark entity that was to the hero. In fact, when he was defending the forces this upgrade, as early on, Harold used to speak with some things. After this introduction, the story begins by putting us in the shoes of the lives of the villager. After finishing his day with tea, there's nothing left, but just before morning is done, there was something that everyone says.
I'm out of here.
Staying alive, right in the village. Concerned, he tries to communicate with the figure, asking if they're all.
And I've been searching for. I reached it. Making on past these shores. Oh, neon, I'm almost there, man. Don't be scared. Oh, neon, I'm on my way. I'll be there today.
Hello. I don't. Well, actually, I don't remember. I don't know what that is. Trust me. Full disclosure. This is not directly at you, so I thought you would get angry, but I just recently discovered something you said about me that actually genuinely made me hate it. So I'm gonna try to control my temper throughout this call. I'm gonna go at the preamble here. I recognize that you are not the main perpetrator in this fiasco, or the one orchestrating the ways of innocence. So I'm doing my best to not lose my temper. Well, I cannot continue to do that. Please don't come back to me. I know it is not fair on you to put me on the same level as you. However, you have acted out with demonstrably malicious intent, and I wish you the answers for it. I have read the books that I feel disturbed about what you said about me, along with others related to the books. So, let's get on to the question. No, I'm sending a screenshot. Because I asked this to say sorry. Not Lucy. Whoops.
Oh, it's
My question is, what do you think is feminist dark screenshot?
you tired beside it. In 10 years, how long has it been? Just need to see what till that was.
I mean, what do you think it is? When you're done.
Maybe you want to forgive. does not have a name either. If anyone wants a name suggestion for her. A name suggestion for her. If anyone wants to give a name suggestion for her, you're welcome to. Hi! Welcome back.
And before that, he threatened that if I talked about him again, even in private, or he, that they would send the police to my house. And given my living situation, that could have been bad. So, how would you know? A loaded question. Did you ever think to question you on my quote-unquote grounding? Because to put it bluntly, he lied to you about that. It was not grounded, because here's what actually happened. I'm gonna call my mother, right? He called her and stuff. The reason was because you insisted that he would call the police, or specifically file a police report and my mother's house. Lyle did not stop it. So Lyle trusted him, and he had face value based on the black and white force of the internet. It was not my parents. My mom was the one who wanted to watch my electronics, correct. But it was Lyle who did that, so he could help me. Even those who do not like him, like can even attest Lyle knew how to help us. So, did you ever think to question about my mother? I'm sorry. I read the logs. That is correct. You were happy talking shit about me with him.
You still joke me.
I don't want to say that's a lie.
You release my
Okay. Question. Did you spread news about me to other people and places?
never get back.
No. Okay. I hope that's not the case. Question 4. Did you actually show you what I said in the
You
document?
can't kill me.
I don't remember.
Exactly.
Alright.
Wait.
Interesting. Because
How does it feel to be helpless?
thinking he
How is
didn't
it for you to
really show
say?
him that.
I want my bright side home.
Question
Crying
number
in
5.
Neighborhood Place.
This is a wild
I
one.
heard their
But I know
final
what you're talking
voice.
about.
Call
Use
me
this
the
shot.
captain in bed. Look what you
Let me into this
Sorry,
what we've become.
all of the pain
And
that
I've been through. Haven't I suffered enough?
you
Leave
didn't
me
stop
when I begged you.
told
Leave me to close my heart.
you set the world alight.
Question.
You say that
I like the box. Here's a scripture. Why did you want to harass my mom by calling her? No, that's not what I meant when you said that. You said, quote here, my boss thinks I should push for a restraining order.
How will you
And considering what I knew about
next to my wife?
what he'd been saying up to that point about you,
Ooga
I
booga,
was
hi Tommy.
in agreement with him on that because, to my understanding, you'd been stalking him for a long time. That was my understanding
I finished that video like after I had woken up from my nap the other day. I finished that. Oh yeah, Akuma kind of just turned that entire situation in that video into like, he just kind of turned everything into like how he like into shit for him. It kind of, yeah. I just finished the video where we were after. I just finished it.
What the fuck is this?
But I don't know how much longer I have. We were so close to our kingdom, it was far from here.
How could it be? Yes. I've been. Oh, this tells me I've been in for like 2 hours now. Right? Yeah, like 2 hours. Oh. Yeah, I've seen your drawings. I've seen your screenshots of the server. I'm kind of probably. When I'm done with this stream, I'm kind of where I get after the end of this. Because I'm typically gonna like wait till like the end of the to like fall in love with you to like end the stream. Because I like giving the ending. Yes, I loved it. I love seeing your drawings. I saw the pictures of Maya too, and I was like, I haven't seen Maya in a while.
So Jade, who and all have you said things like this about? Because I know you threatened violence on Greece, meaning this is you saying your hand ran the road. Who else have you said this about remembering? Wait, you haven't said it about anyone else? I don't think I have. So, you haven't said that about, say, Vivian? Okay. And I want to be clear. I'm not even gonna, like, get all that mad about you over to you. And if
You know what's so funny? I decided when I was designing fire and ice characters to swap the colors associated with with fire and ice. Yeah, that makes sense. To like forget like how to draw like after months of not drawing.
I want to be clear. I don't really care.
I've not watched anything of Waka's stuff. I'm assuming that you're a good source for the FCK stuff. I hope they are a good source. I hope they're a good source because I haven't watched their shit, but so far the only other source everyone has for the FCK shit, the only other, like, I know Locke's a source, and I also know Akuma's a source. I think did people start listening after Locke started exposing things? I'm not too sure. Yeah. Yeah, because Akuma has just used the FCK to go after people. Sadly, he just used the FCK to go after people. Use that as an excuse to like go back at going after people.
And when he docks his ship, we can breathe it. Let us leave now, today we can strike it.
Because it sure seems like he used it again to go after like other people, which like the people we are okay with him going after is the people that actually did shit wrong. Yeah, I might look into Laka, just so I can like have a full scope. Yeah, yeah, there's shit people in the ACC, but Akuma is also can be considered one of those shit people because of his behavior. I listen. I always hear him out because everyone deserves to be heard out. But he is kind of one of those people because of his behavior in the past and his behavior currently. He's someone I'm hard to trust, mainly that's probably just because of my interactions with him. Hello, I do not know what you're saying. I only know English. I don't know what you're saying. I'm so sorry. Not back to the conversation. But yeah, cool. Alright. Have a good night, 7B. Don't worry, I completely get you. I'll be honest, I think I've barely changed my style. Because I think the last drawing you seen, I have to see what my last drawing was in, like, the last drawing you see was, so before I got my Samsung tablet, I didn't have that last year. I didn't have this last year. It had to be... How are you on the other side? Yeah. I feel like I think it's because of my shading, like, in a way.
You don't think I know my own palace? I built it.
I mean, I think one thing that's definitely changed is, like, recently, is, like, the noses. I'm trying to figure those out. I'm trying to give them actual noses. I suck at drawing noses. That's why for the longest time, I had that line and loop. Because I suck at drawing noses. Like on a profile like this. I was good at drawing them on the side profile. Yeah. I only started attempting after someone said the noses, like everything else is so good. And the noses, like someone in my comments said, like, everything's so good except the noses. The noses, like, throw everything off. And I was kind of like, you know what, I'm going to attempt to add a nose. And my first attempt at a nose was drawing Talia al Ghul. Yes. I feel like I've improved a little bit. I've definitely improved a lot since I joined Stone server. I forgot to it's on blending, not blurry. To him, he's the greatest chance. Get off me, get off me. I want to check something. Yes, I could definitely say yours has definitely changed a lot since then, especially since you left. Like, it's definitely changed since you left. Yeah, I don't know who. I've barely drew fan art, but when I did. I mean, I have not drawn stone fan art in a while. I don't know when my last fan art was. And I can't even check what my last fan art was. The server's gone. I don't think I've drawn him. I don't think any of my fan art. I have any fan art on the new server. I'd have to check that. I don't think I have any fan art in the new server. Yeah, no, I didn't post shit. The new server. I definitely have. Hello. Yeah. No, I am so glad, like, I still have some of my art from that I posted in the Discord on my phone, because, like, if I didn't have it, it would be gone. I think a lot of it is saved in my Google Photos. I am drawing my OC. Silly guy. Yeah, silly guy. Actually, I think I do. I'm gonna check my Google Photos real quick. I think I have. Oh, that voice is growing, I know. 20 years ago I've held you. Alright. This character has not been posted. It has been posted, actually. That's so many drawings. I had this like. Oh wait, I just fucking remember something. I do have my last fan art still on here somewhere. I do have the last fan art I did of him in here.
Tell your mother I'm home.
Yeah, what? The last fan art I did for Stone was on 3 days before my birthday of last year. It was the last fan art I did for him.
Show yourself. I know you're watching me. Show yourself.
And that's all I have for him in my things. I haven't checked, but I don't think I've ever. Yeah, no, I don't. Up here, I don't think he does it. That's fair. I don't even think Stone does fan art features anymore. I'd have to check that. Because I don't think Stone does those anymore. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't. Ooh. I'm gonna check his latest video, because it's like 10 minutes. That's so small compared to his other videos.
About a boyfriend wanting to get Friday Brad. First to do it, they artist, get cozy, enjoy your night. May the darkness guide you.
No. I use Clip Studio Paint. But, yeah, unless I have to, you know. Yeah. But, you know, he only mentions his thumbnail artist. And all the fan art feature is gone, it seems. Seems like Stone doesn't do fan art features anymore. Have to check his other video after that.
If you chose the female chick, one or now, it was wonderful having you in my camp. But for now,
Oh yeah, we can talk after stream if you want. Yeah, after this song finishes, I might actually end the stream. Would you fall in love with me again? You knew all I've done, the things I can't change. Would you love me all the same? I know that you've been waiting for love. Millions of things that you do. Yes, every island. Graded friends like objects I could use. More lives than I can count on my hands. But all of that was to bring me back to you. Tell me, will you fall in love with me again? You knew all I've done, things I cannot do. Not the man you knew. You've been waiting, waiting.
Just a moment of labor that would bring me some peace. See that wedding bed, could you carry it over? Pitch it high on the shoulders and take it far away from here.
How could you sleep? I had built that wedding bed with my blood and sweat. Carved it into the olive tree where we first met. But you have asked me, the only way to move it is to
Cut
cut
it from its roots. Only my husband knew that. Look it. I will fall in love with you over and over again. Over how or when.
Don't tell me you're not the same person. You're always my husband
Oh yeah, I just saw the drawing feet is harder thing. Yeah, drawing feet is harder than anyone expects. That's why I don't draw feet. Alright. It was the song end time, ending stream, so thank you, Artistic Bread Box. Okay, as I said earlier, I'm going to end stream now. The musicals are starting over again. I'm going to be ending stream here. Have a good day or night, whatever time zone it is for you. Bye-bye, and see y'all next stream.